Hi guys, Sourdough Kathy here, and today is the 11th of June. I'm going to give you a look around the garden patch. I started here. I'm right here on my mixed peppers, and I'm going to show you, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are probably jalapenos, because they look the same as they did last year. So we are getting quite a few peppers. There's some right there, and I'm really surprised because it's not been very hot here. Now here are my zucchini. Now my zucchini have taken a back door here. They've gone backwards, but now they're starting to come back with some nice green veg, and I figured this was going to happen. It seems to do it when you do them from starts in the house. Now this one's actually got a little guy on it. Maybe he'll make it. Now over here we have some more peppers, and these, I'm not even sure of what these are. I think they may be the red Serranos, or I'm not really sure, because this one has 3, so I'm not quite sure what they are. Oh, the tequila sunrise. I think those may be the tequila sunrise. Over here is the yellow squash, and the yellow squash has done much better than the zucchini did, and it's putting on a little one right there. I didn't even notice that. Whether it stays on or not will be a mystery. Now the flowers are doing okay right there. They haven't quite bloomed yet. Last year I had them much further along than they are right now, because I started them a month earlier. But here are some Hungarian, see if I can get my shadow out of there. I'll go from here. These are Hungarian wax peppers, and they seem to be doing just fine. This is a very sunny area that I'm in right now. So I'm going to move you gently over here. And over here, these were 2 packs of cabbages that had been just sitting. I didn't know what to do with them, but I landed up having this space that I didn't want anything else in, so I threw these cabbages all in here. And it's been a while. It's taken them a hard time. They were not in good shape when I put them in here, but when we got the rain a couple days ago, they started perking up, so they're doing real good. Now the regular cucumber, I almost fell down just now. This cucumber looks dry, but it's not. It's very wet down inside, and I've sprayed it with magnesium and everything. But last year, again, the same thing happened to the cucumbers that I started in the house. For some reason, when I started it from seed, I had put one in seed in the same container, everything, along with the ones that I had started in the house, and they did this same, that one came out better than the ones that were in the house. And these here, but they are turning green, so I think we'll get something. It's early yet. It's only the first week of June. Now here, in this pepper, we have cayenne, and I mean, to say the least, these are weak compared to what my husband likes to eat, but it is full of cayenne peppers. There are all kinds of peppers on this thing. All right, now I'm going to move on over. Okay, so here we are at the potato patch, and as you can see, those potatoes that I was so concerned about have finally started doing their thing, and as they come along and get bigger, I keep putting soil on top of them. These are the whole potatoes, I believe, or half potatoes. I don't know. We'll find out when we take them out. They're all doing great. They're looking nice and green, and I'm not having any problems with them. Now these are the chitted ones, just the skin, and see, they're not as robust as those other ones. They don't have as much green, some of them, but they're going to be just fine. They're going to give me nice potatoes. I know they will. So these here, all 9 of them, are the ones that are chitted. And then these are some more. They'll either be whole ones or half ones. I finally got them all together. And here's our just regular lettuce, different kinds of lettuce. They are looking sweet now. They are just really nice, beautiful, beautiful little lettuces. And some seeds that I threw out, because it's cool this year, they're doing just fine. And here are my come-alongs from last year that didn't grow last year, and they're doing fine now. Parsley's looking really good over here and here. And even this little Bok Choy that I threw in there, because it's been so cool, it hasn't gone to seed yet. It's actually putting out a nice little Bok Choy. Even if it's just a little one, that'll be good. And the beets are doing just great. They're making their little heads here. Let me see if I can find some. It's kind of shady, but down in there's one that's making their little balls. And in here, they're making them. And they're doing just what Charles Dowling says. They push their little mates away, and they do just fine. Here's some right here that are doing okay. And the rest of my family's not big beet eaters. I'm probably the only one that eats them. So, but our neighbor just told us she mixes beets with potatoes, so I may try that. Sounds interesting. Now, the last video I did, there wasn't a green bean up. These are my Blue Lake green beans. They are bush type green beans, and just about all have come up now. Few of them have not. They probably won't for whatever reason, but the majority of them have come up. Not back up, but have come up. There's another one, little one right there that's gonna come up. All right, moving on now. This is my little blueberry patch. Not very big. It's only about 4 feet wide and about 1.5 feet, or it's 4 feet long and 1.5 feet wide. Now these don't have too many on them because these are about worn out, and they're putting out lots of new sprouts. But this batch over here is going to give me quite a few blueberries. They're pretty heavy on the blueberries. Although I found that my leaves, not just the leaves here, but on all of my trees, have gotten very small for whatever reason, and I can't say, and I don't want to say on this video. So I'm going to move you now over to the Bok Choy. As you can see, the Bok Choy is looking absolutely wonderful. We've eaten one, and we have all of these here to eat yet. And I'm going to land up taking some to my friend down the street, because there's no way we can eat all of these. Not even our dogs are eating that much of it this year for some reason. Now in here I have one of my lettuces, and I just can't for the life of me remember what name they are. My neighbor knew what they were because he has worked in California raising them. But yeah, these are just looking super duper, really nice plants right there. We're going to move on to the cabbages now. I've come above the cabbages from the ground up onto the porch so you can have a better look, but these are great specimens, and the BT really worked this year in order to stop those flies from getting to my cabbages. Now I'm going to slowly move you from there up to here, and up here we've got just my flowers growing, and they're starting to do really well now. They're all starting to bloom. And over here are my lemon cucumbers that I love. They were kind of shady too. They were lots of yellow and whatnot, but I did spray them a couple days ago with some magnesium. They seem to be greening up better, and they're probably going to need some food here real quick. Our little basket here is doing just fine. And my husband's little petunias are doing fine. Okay, I'm going to take you some other places now. All right, here we have another planter full of flowers that are just doing great. And here are some of those lettuces. I have them here, and I have some more down here. My stairs make a really nice area to do. These are my snapdragons and some zinnias here. I'm going to slowly move you over here where I have some tomatoes. Now I have some tomatoes on here. Excuse me. I don't want to shake you around too much. These tomatoes are almost ready to go red. Now I kept them in that square polytunnel that you saw them in for quite some time. I moved them out about 4 or 5 days ago. But the tomatoes are just doing great. There's tomatoes all over them. And really, honestly, had I known that this could be done years ago, I would have done that. Down in here, I got a few little radishes that are coming up. I have terrible time growing radishes, but I'm keeping them in the shade. Hopefully they won't bolt. There's also some carrots in there that still have not come up yet. All right, over to the carrot bins. Okay, in this carrot pot, this is the one where I put the pelletized, they're the all mixture colored seeds, and they came from Johnny Seeds, which I had to order online, and they all came up. I don't see very many spaces on these at all. Now, here I have a bucket of the same kind of, no, these are the Nantes, excuse me, and they are just now starting to come up here along this edge. Nothing over here, and don't let this deceive you. It's not dry here, it is wet. So I don't know what the deal is with that one. Then you come over here, and these are the colored ones also. There's like 2 over in the corner that have come up from Burpee, and I spent $5 for the seeds that come on a strip, and this is what I'm getting so far. Absolutely zero. Right here is another tomato, and let me see, I don't know, we've got lots of flowers so far, but no tomatoes on this one. And then I'm going to take you down to the last tomato. This is a little walk, so I'll try and be gentle with you. Now this is another tomato. This one does have some tomatoes on it right there. It's in a nice sunny spot on top of one of our smokers here that we use for fish smoke. Look at those. Ooh, those are sweet. Nice. Really nice. You can see they're starting to turn red. They've got kind of a light yellow green. So we should be getting some of those pretty soon. I just smelled something and I realized I started taking green stuff and throwing it into a bucket of water so I could use it as a fertilizer. Now I realize why it stinks. Alright, I'm going to take you out front to the onions. Before I take you to the onions, I want to show you this because this is the flower I kept telling you that had kind of the funny face. That's it. That's the mamilius. Starts with the tiniest of little seeds and it gives you these really pretty things. But one thing that I did do that was kind of crazy is I laid some along this area before this big tub was here because I have my leaves in there for my worms. I'm going to move that. But I had put plants in square long boxes, and unfortunately the rabbits decided they wanted to eat them. So I have one where they ate snapdragons off and they ate off the mamilius. Now this, because I sprayed BT early this year, I actually got flowers on my white lilacs. And let me tell you, white lilac is just so fragrant compared to the purples. They're just absolutely beautiful. Before we get to the onions, I'll just run you across here. I've got those cabbages that I was concerned about having leaf miner. I'm sorry, this is kind of shady here, but I hope you can see it. There's no leaf miner. And there we go. On here is the next one. I did spray some neem oil just in case, and the BT of course went down in here too. I've got a few flowers coming here. Oh, and here's some more flowers down there. I'm afraid I had to pull them away. It's some snapdragons, of course my lilies, and here's the 3 other cabbages that are really turning out nice. And they all look like different sizes, so even if they come at different times, it'll be nice. I won't have to worry about having too many cabbages. Plus, you can always store them in straw or something else that you can do with them. So, okay, now over to the onions. Okay, guys, these are some lilacs on the other side of my house. It's on the shady side. This used to be on the other side next to my small shed, but because I had a nasty neighbor, I had to move a 25-year-old lilac bush to this side. But you can see it's very late in blooming, very late in blooming. And that's, I believe, because, and the leaves on this thing are really small compared to what they're supposed to be. But last year I had such a problem with the moths. They're called looper moths, I believe, and they just destroyed this bush last year. So what I've been doing from an early stage, just when the buds were starting to come out, I sprayed it with BT, and thus far I haven't had any more problems with the looper moth, or whatever the heck they call it. I really don't know, to tell you the truth, but it did so much damage last year. It's really horrible what it did to it. Okay, and down here I'm going to take you to, try not to make you sick. This is also a shady area, but it's where I have some rhubarb. I don't have a lot of rhubarb, I just have some. I have one nice big one, which is doing awesome back here since we got rain. Prior to the rain, this was really looking terrible, and I don't have a way of getting water back here unless I pull my hose all the way around my house. So this is the rhubarb. As you can see, I have strawberries back there that used to be in my front yard, and I have raspberry bushes, and I just recently, these are native raspberry bushes, I believe. Trying to get around this thing without breaking my neck. A friend of mine, a neighbor of mine, gave me some good ones, but I'm not going to see anything off of them, I don't think. No, I'm not going to. I know I'm not going to. But they're alive. You can see they're alive. They've survived. And some of them I had to lay across the ground, and I'm hoping that they're right there. I'm hoping that they'll take root underneath the dirt there, because they were snapped, and I think I can show you. It was snapped right there. So I just laid it across. They're still growing. So I'm amazed with that snap in it that they're still growing, but they are. So I'm hoping that next year I'll have some really nice raspberries. But that's it for this area. So here we are at the onion patch, and as you can see, the onions are doing really nice. The ones that I originally did, those big ones right there, are mine. The ones that I thought were all gonna be dead, they didn't die. Some of them are a little weaker than others, but they came up, and I am so pleased. Over here, I'm going to turn this way. These are you know, I thought that they were Maui. They're not. They're Walla Wallas. So they're doing just as good considering I planted them a lot later than the others. And I'm just really blessed to have, provided they don't go to seed, I'm really blessed. Now here I have a few more flowers, and once again, these are the mamilias in here. That's the one on one of them that got eaten. Ugh. We've got so many rabbits here. I am surprised there's none out right now, or I'd show them to you. But that's it for today, folks. I hope that you enjoyed the little tour. Hope you'll give me a check, a like, a comment, a subscription, anything you like. I love you all. Thank you now. Bye-bye.